Okay, so another Karate Kid video. See, so we're gonna go back to the first movie, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm gonna prove once and for all what a bag of cheating scum Miyagi Do is all the way since the beginning. So if we go back to the original movie, if you recall, we start out and we're introduced to the bully, Daniel LaRusso, age 17. Let's keep that in mind, age 17. And after starting fights he can't finish, and we won't get into that, he gets entered into the All Valley under 18 karate tournament. Remember that, under 18. Now, first of all, there's many reasons why he shouldn't be in there. Number one, this guy trained with this old drunk Mr. Miyagi for what? A couple weeks, or maybe a month. I didn't even say 2 months. On the weekends, he was in school. No way. Even if he went to a McDojo, would he be a black belt in this time? It's impossible. A shit school that just hands out degrees, or belts, I should say in this case, maybe a year. Okay, real learning about 3 years or so, depending on the art and depending on your comprehension if you test. Because if you see, Johnny started when he was a kid. Now we meet Johnny when he's 17, and he's already been in like 3 tournaments. Somehow Johnny was a two-time champ. They don't mention that on Cobra Kai. I call shenanigans on that. But yeah, he's a black. Of course, he's a black belt. He's probably been doing this 5 years, and he had a great teacher in Chris. Man who molds young minds. But anyway, if you recall, before the tournament, it's that Punk Daniel's birthday. And everybody's all happy. Mr. Miyagi gives him a gi with a tree on the back, and then he gives him a car. And everybody says, oh, it's so touching. It's so nice. That was on his 18th birthday. 18th birthday. If you think I'm lying, look it up on the Google, do your own research. 18. The tournament is called the Under 18. Strike one. Shouldn't have been allowed. He was over the age group anyway. Number two, I've been in tournaments. I've been in, when I was younger, I've been in round tournaments and 3-point tournaments and a couple 4-point tournaments. That never made sense to me. Anyway, you have to be a part of an accredited school. You can't just enlist yourself like that. They tried that gimmick with that punk Robbie, who's always doesn't know he needs to be trained how to close his mouth. They tried that shenanigan too. It don't work. Miyagi, he didn't have no dojo. He had no paperwork filled out, which was evident in the movie. He had no insurance, no accreditation, no licenses. He paid no fees. So he sneaks his student in, and shame on this organization for not checking the paperwork. But he says, hey, this is my student. Okay, that's true. He's under 18. That's bullshit because he is 18. So it can't be a tournament under 18. First strike. Now, number two, he says, well, he's black belt. He ain't no black belt. It's impossible. I don't care if Bruce Lee was your teacher. In a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, you're not going to be a black belt. So that's another lie because the tournament is black belt and above. Lies about that. Lies about his age. Lies about his ranking. Then the guy steals a belt. He buys him this gi with a little tree painted on the back. Doesn't even have a belt. Too cheap to go and get a belt. He steals one from this organization. That's like, I mean, this is already, he shouldn't be in her. But when he's in there, he's like crazed lunatic because he's been stalking these kids, and you can see in every fight scene he's like. So Kreese gets nervous. He's like, God, this guy's a psychopath. He might try to really injure one of my kids. He's doesn't know the rules, not a black belt, no control, injure somebody, flagrant violations from the get go. So he tells one of his students, he's like, because he's a father figure to Johnny. He wants Johnny to win the third time in a row. He tells this other student, he's like, whose name I forget, it's important. He says to wants him out of commission. And so the kid does it, and right there he's like, "Oh, thank God, this lunatic is out of the tournament. We don't got to worry about this clown no more." But no, no, they take him in the back, they lay him on the gurney, and he can barely walk. And that's when he starts whining and crying like he always does about how Oh no, I'll never have balance, all this garbage. And Miyagi goes, well, if you recall the movie, he goes, and then we cut to Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight. Okay, I've had shiatsu massages. I've had oil massages. I've had all this done. I've had cortisone injections. I've had every type of muscle relaxer, and muscle technique acupuncture, everything. Nobody is going to go and touch you and all at once your wounds heal. See, because we see him go and then it cuts. What the deleted scene clearly is him going, reaching into the medicine bag and getting out some performance enhancing drugs. Keep in mind, it was legal back then, but that don't make it right. And he doped up Daniel with some Winstrol or Danabol or Deca, some type of performance enhancement. He gave him, and that's how he was able to come out, even though he was hurt. You know, he had the roids going through him. Maybe a little, it was the 80s, maybe a little smack there, you know, blow. And then he was all coked up and he wins. I shouldn't say he was all coked up. He was clearly on performance enhancing drugs. And he wins the match with his mouth hanging open, just like Robbie, who's probably his illegitimate kid, in all honesty. And they hoist him up and he wins. And he won with an illegal kick to the face. That's been debated 100 times. We all know it's an illegal kick to the face. So let's break this down. He was over the age of 18. Shouldn't have been in there. He was not in an accredited school. They did not fill out proper paperwork to be in the tournament. Now, granted, Miyagi should have been lying, but the school, the people putting on this jank tournament should have been checking this. Stole a belt, lied about his rankings. Guy had no control, no real skill. He was probably injured 30 opponents in that montage. Kreese tries to do the right thing, subdue the guy. You notice he didn't say break his leg. You know, you give him a nice nerve shot like that, just keeps him out a while. He didn't want anybody getting hurt by this lunatic. And then he still gets shot up with something. He comes back, wins with an illegal kick to the face. And this is the man you all cheer on. It's disgraceful. Disgraceful. I'm telling you. And these are the kind of tactics that the Cobra Kai better watch out in season 4, because this is what they're going to be doing. There's going to be performance enhancement. There's going to be illegal moves. I highly doubt he's training these kids in his house or his Mr. Miyagi's old house. Uh, Johnny, we saw in part 1, he had to get insurance. He had a dojo, and also and you know, Johnny didn't, it doesn't carry over. That was when he illegally stole the Cobra Kai name. Kreese is running a fully accredited school. He's a licensed teacher. Yes, believe it or not, it helps to have a license, you know, when you teach in case of lawsuits and such. But Kreese got him training them on the mats properly, you know, legally. These guys are doing who knows what. They're not even accredited. It's a sham from the get go. I do once again believe the Cobra Kai team will win, because that would make for not much of a season 5 to get rid of your only bad guy who was wrongfully misjudged, as we've covered before. But there you have it. Miyagi Do, they've been cheating since the beginning. Cheaters, underhanded tricks. Makes me sick to my stomach. I hope it makes you sick to your stomach too. If it does, please leave a comment. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, visit the pages. Big thanks to my man Chris Stiles for making this cover art thumbnail. Once again, dirty cheaters stick Team Cobra Kai all the way.